Howdy, Mark Greathouse here. Some folks have been asking how Tumbleweed came to be, and who is the author behind that nickname. Others have been curious about the office from which I claim to channel my inner cowboy. Well, hang on tight, because here it comes. Now, my daddy, he was born in Alice, Texas. Ergo, my claim as a fifth generation Texan. Fact is, I've got a passel and then some of family in the Lone Star State. Me, I was born in New Jersey. These days, my wife and I live in the wooded hills and farms near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Wouldn't you know that there are herds of longhorn nearly within a shouting distance of where we live? Now, I'm not going to get into a career biopic here. Now, y'all can dig that up on social media at, say, LinkedIn or Facebook, or even my website at tumbleweed.me. Blessed with a long held passion for writing and having written stories and poems for better than 6 decades now, it wasn't until about 6 years ago that I was inspired to write westerns. The nickname Tumbleweed, well, that was laid on me by a Texas cousin to describe my appearance of tumbling randomly around Texas when I came to visit. And as I began to write, it seemed to make some sense to adopt that Tumbleweed nickname. Oh, well, what inspired me? Well, my daddy passed along a family history and a tree that grabbed some inner place in my soul. A cousin named John Hillard Dunn had taken the time to describe the five Dunn brothers who immigrated from County Kildare, Ireland, to Corpus Christi between 1845 and 1867. And then he registered it with the Historical Society. Well, the brothers flourished, carving out a life that grew to an ancestral family of some 2,400 folks through 10 generations. As I researched my family in history books, library archives, museums, websites, family photo caches, and more, I couldn't help but be inspired. Protagonist Texas Ranger Luke Dunn in my five Tumbleweed Sagas novels to date is kind of an amalgam of the gritty, impassioned Dunns that carved a life in the Texas frontier. His wife Alyssa, well, she epitomizes the tough, resourceful women of that Dunn family. Along this path, I was led to publish the biography of my great-great-grandfather, Nicholas Dunn. That should give you all a taste of my well, there's also the romance, the freedom, the grandeur, the adventure, the grit, the opportunity. Well, it's the very essence of the American West. Well, now, as to my office that supposedly channels my inner cowboy, well, within its confines are shelves overflowing with books of multiple genres, though I do lean more to westerns. There are memorable family photos, wall art mostly crafted in my wood shop, some decorative statues of Indians, a couple of my own Western oil paintings. You can see a couple of behind me there. Sorry, let me get out of the way. There you go. Cowboy and an Indian. Oh, man. There's a rack with my cowboy hats. There's a gun rack that features a replica 1895 Winchester. The real thing serves as the centerpiece of a novel I'm still working on. My desk serves as a catch-all for laptop, quick reference documents, and an occasional cat. That's about it in a nutshell. I've got a handful of manuscripts, including the final two Tumbleweed sagas, ready for prime time. I deeply appreciate those who bought and read my Tumbleweed sagas, especially that fifth saga, Oasis Grit, Texans Answer the Call, released back on December 21st by Defiance Press. Now, in addition to Oasis Grit, y'all have been treated thus far to Oasis Justice, Oasis Reprise, Oasis Deceit, and Oasis Blood. Oh, and an Oasis thing, it's about where most of the action takes place in South Texas. The Oasis Strip, Oasis Town, Oasis River, etc. Well, Oasis is Spanish for nuts, and it refers to the pecan trees of the region. I also urge you all to experience Nicholas Dunn, The Making of a Texas Legend, that biography I wrote about the life of my great-great-grandfather. He was a true Texan who immigrated from Ireland and became legendary in helping tame the Nueces Strip. All of my books from Defiance Press and Publishing, well, they're available online in print, e-audio, or ebook from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and most popular online booksellers. I've even got a special available, as I offer a personally signed set of all 5 of my Tumbleweed Sagas for only $60. Just grab my email from the contact page at tumbleweed.me, and we can work that out. Meanwhile, I urge you to find yourself a comfy place. Let your imagination come alive, reliving America's Old West through my Tumbleweed Sagas. If a question comes to mind, reach out to asktumbleweed@gmail.com. But do read my sagas. You don't even need spurs or saddle. Enjoy a cup of coffee, or even sip a glass of wine or something more potent. And especially, please do post a review. Now, you all take care, you hear?